What is up, YouTube? It is time for the biggest build we have ever done on the channel. This is going to be a really fun series over the next couple weeks, so let's get into it. Now my goal is to have this done by the Ruckus and Chill show. That is a little under 6 weeks away. Now last big build we did in my truck, we did that in just about 2 weeks, so we should be able to knock this out. I don't see why not. That being said, it is going to be a lot bigger of a build. It's going to be a lot more is really going to be going into this thing, so let's check out and see what we're going to do. Now real quick, like I did on the last build series, we're going to be doing another giveaway for y'all, and I am so excited to be sharing this with you guys. Since we are doing a 15-inch subwoofer build, I figured that means we need to give away a big old 15-inch subwoofer. Of course, this is the American Bass XFL 15, one of my all-time favorite subs, and guys, this can be yours. Now, no matter what, I am going to be giving this away, but at the moment, we are sitting at about 75,000 subscribers. Should we be able to bump it up to 80,000 subscribers by the time this is over, I'll be throwing in $300 along with this guy. Now, should something crazy happen, guys, and we get up to 90,000 subscribers by the time we are through with this series, I will throw in $700 along with this fella. And should something absolutely crazy happen and we get up to 100,000 subscribers, I'll throw in $1,500 along with this guy. But regardless, we'll at least be giving this thing away, so I appreciate each and every one of you guys so much. Y'all are the reason I do what I do. Let's get back to the show. Now, in past builds in this thing, I've normally stuck to 12-inch subs. For last year's show, we had 6 12s in here. I was able to get up to the 153s. It was windy and it would hair trick. But I really want to step it up, make it bigger and better without having to really increase the power. So I figured what that means is we got to go to 15s and we got to remove the rear seats. Now I've had this 2 15s box in here. I've been doing some testing with some 15s. Again, I've done so many 12s in the past, and I really wanted to try out some 15s just to kind of see what the difference was, see what I liked, stuff like that. So this box coming out, putting in a big old box in this thing. Now so far I've left these back seats in here. I like leaving them in here just for everyday use. And when I was giving demos with these 6 12s, it was nice to be able to put people back here. But hey, if we want to get louder, we got to make some sacrifices. So these seats have got to go. We'll be ripping these out. That will over double the room that I have for equipment, so that will be awesome. Another thing I've got to do, we have got to do something about these doors. And when I made these for the show over a year ago, I slapped them together pretty quick, and it got the job done for the show, but we're going to be redoing this. I've already pulled off the pleather that I had on here. We're going to be taking this out. I think it'll be kind of the same design, but we are going to be doing it a lot better and a lot neater. Going to look much better once it is done. We also are going to be looking at some ways to better attach this to the door and stuff like that. So super excited to be learning some new stuff when we do this. In this series, we also are going to be looking at batteries. Now I want to make this thing a demo monster, which means I want to give out as many demos as I possibly can. In order to do that, I'm going to need a big supply of power. Now, unfortunately, in this car, it's really hard to fit in more than one alternator, so that's just not a route that I can do. That means I gotta build more battery reserves. To do that, we're gonna be building some more lithium cells. Of course, I'm using the Headway lithium cells since I already have some and it's what I've been used in the past. Ordered a bunch of those. So we're gonna build one real big bank and we're gonna see how that does. Another thing we have got to do is at least make this kind of sort of show worthy. Now the paint on this thing is in absolute terrible shape. Unfortunately, won't have time to get that fixed, but this bumper has seen better days. So I do have a new bumper. We'll be at least throwing that on just to get this looking as good as we possibly can. So the first step in doing a bigger build like this is doing a lot of planning, and I've been doing that, trying to make sure I have everything lined up so we are good to go and we can kind of knock this out in order, not have any hiccups along the way, hopefully. So let's get into that. Now the first thing is the subs. As I've mentioned in a previous video, we are using the American Bass Elite subs. Reason we are doing this is one, they are really affordable. I was able to pick all these up for about $165 a piece. That being said, they're really pretty tough subs. They have a nice 3-inch coil, and I ran the 12-inch versions of these, and I ran 2 of these 15-inch versions for quite a while. Really put them through some tests to see if they would get done what I wanted it to, and so far they have exceeded expectations. Definitely an insane bang for the buck. So I went ahead and ordered 8 of them. I've got 2 already out of the box, 6 that I have not unpacked yet. That is, of course, the start of the build. Everything I do kind of trickles down from the subs. Next up from there, we, of course, got to give those subs ample power. So to be doing that, we are running 2 of these Taramps base 8K amplifiers. Now, for last year, we used both of these when I had the 612s. So we're going to see how much can really just increasing cone area help out the system. I think it's going to be a lot. So we're going to be running 4 subs per amp. Each of these subs are a dual 4 ohm voice coils. That means once we run all of them together, we will be half an ohm per amp. Now, these are the 1 ohm version amps, but plenty of people, including myself, have put a bunch of tests through these. Running subs ran down to half ohm, and they've done just fine, especially once you account for impedance rise. These amps are really never going to see below 1 ohm anyway. Next up from there is batteries. As I mentioned, we're going to be building some more lithium banks for this guy. I'm actually going to do 1 real big bank, and I've ordered the bus bars for that, but it could be a few weeks before those show up. So I may go ahead and just build another one in one of my boxes, like I've done in the past, just so we can get some testing done on this thing. We will see. We'll get into that as we get to it. Of course, next up, we're going to have wiring. Now, I do already have a bunch of wires ran in there from the previous build, but I'm not sure all those are going to be long enough. So I've got a little bit of ground wire left, and I've got a decent amount of the 0 gauge red wire that I'm going to use for the positives as well. But I might need to order some more, but I'm definitely going to need to order things like lugs and heat shrink, stuff like that. I know in the last build, I underestimated how much I would need, and that left me almost in a pickle. I was down to the last minute getting some of that stuff buttoned up. So we're going to go ahead, order some of that just to make sure we have plenty. Moving along from there is, of course, our mids and highs. At the moment, I've got the DS18 mids and highs in there, and they do just fine. We'll probably stick with those same speakers, or unless something comes up where I get a good deal for something new. But again, for now, the plan is to use those. That being said, we're going to really step them up. They can take a lot more power than what I'm pushing to them now. So that means we're going to need to get some more stuff like 12 gauge speaker wire to run to them. Going to be running all new wires to them. I need to find a good, at least 2-channel amp for the mids. At the moment, I've got them on a little Taramps amp, but they definitely could take a lot more. So I'm going to do a little research to figure out what would be good for that. And then also going to be running all the mids off of an amp as well. So again, just a lot of planning to do. So I got to figure out what amp I want to use with that. I have a couple options for amps I could put them on, or I may find something new. Not 100% sure yet. Another option is I could just get a 4-channel amp, run the speakers off 2 channels, run the tweeters off the other 2 channels, and then of course just adjust each of them separately. Pros to that, I would only need 1 amp, so less RCAs and all that junk. Overall, I do think that would be the better option, but not 100% sure yet. Well, y'all, this is going to be a really fun series. I'm going to learn a ton, and I'm going to try to teach y'all as I go through every single step of this process. It'll be a learning experience for all of us. So super excited to be bringing y'all along. I'm going to be showing y'all every single step of the way as we do this. Going to try to upload 2 or 3 times a week to keep y'all right up to date with where we are at. So wish me luck, but hey, with y'all's help, we're going to get this done. And I'm going to be bringing in a professional box builder to help me design and build the optimal box for this thing. I want it to sound as good as it can, and we don't want it to fall apart. And y'all know some of my box building capabilities are just slightly shy of perfect. So hey, that's all right. We're gonna learn some awesome stuff here. All right, Basehead family, I hope y'all enjoyed that. I hope y'all will stick along through this series. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna learn a lot. Y'all are gonna learn a lot, and we're gonna get this thing done. All right. That's going to do it for this video. Stay tuned for the next one coming out here in a few days, hopefully. All right, that's going to do it. But remember, as always, keep basing on.